Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SlamX. SummerSlam is a few hours away, so today we'll be going through my predictions for the card. If you like the video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and if you would like to buy anything from wweshop.com, be sure to use my affiliate link, which you can find in the description. With all that out the way, let's get into this. Now, I don't have a match order or a predicted match order for the card, so I'm just going to be using WWE.com's preview of SummerSlam. And that kicks us off with Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, these two have already faced off at Money in the Bank, with Sami Zayn controversially winning. And people weren't too happy with not necessarily the result itself, but how the match played out. Nothing really happened that made it look like Sami stole a win or survived. It just looked like a clean win, if I remember correctly, but I might need to rewatch that. But I personally didn't mind it, just because I think the whole theme of Sami Zayn's reign has been not only being the underdog, but being underestimated, which Bron Breakker pretty much did. He underestimated Sami Zayn, and his arrogance is what might have made him lose. That's my way of explaining it, basically. But the fact that they've given him another one-on-one match, I don't see a way where Sami Zayn leaves with the championship. I do think Bron Breakker will win this. Maybe we see some interruption. I doubt it, but the interruption would be if Sami wins, but I highly doubt it. Like, Ludwig Kaiser's injured. Ilya Dragunov, it's not in his character, and we are close to Bash in Berlin, so I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think Bron will win, and they can use that as a sort of way to get Sami starting to propel towards the Bloodline story. And Bloodline, we've got a lot to talk about. That will be towards the end of the video. So yeah, I think Bron will win. Up next, we have Logan Paul vs LA Knight for the United States Championship. Now, these two have had a pretty good feud. It's felt like, classic WWE. We've had not necessarily a home invasion segment, but LA Knight just shows up at Logan Paul's pool. Logan Paul's swimming pool. There's probably a tongue twister in there somewhere, but shows up in his pool, urinates, does whatever he does. They had the whole Prime truck thing yesterday. The contract signing a few weeks ago. It's been very entertaining, if you ask me. And people wanted to see this feud happen pretty much like a year ago, as far as I can remember. I think Logan Paul, as soon as he was getting more and more involved in WWE, people sort of fantasy booked a feud between these two, and it has delivered, I think. And if we go back to the Money in the Bank qualifying matches, LA Knight did pin Logan in that match, and they've used that he's used that as kind of a point to keep bringing up during this feud. Which is why my prediction might get a bit bold here. But we have Logan Paul teasing a Mr. Cleveland, and I'm not sure we know who that is yet, unless I'm missing something. Let me know if I am, but people have been spreading rumors about this Mr. Cleveland. Whether that is Jake Paul, whether that is MGK, I don't know, but SummerSlam is not a stranger to celebrity interruptions, so we could see another one here. And I think there is a strong possibility, as much as people want to see LA Knight win the United States Championship, there is a strong possibility that does not happen tomorrow, or today even. Yeah, tonight. But yeah, it's a weird prediction to say, but I think for the sake of boldness, if I'm wrong, it's probably a good thing. In fact, it is a good thing if I'm wrong, because I want to see LA Knight with that title. But maybe we push it back, just this feud can go on a little longer. Who knows? But I'm gonna boldly say Logan Paul wins this match. Up next, we have the WWE Women's Championship match between Bayley and Nia Jax. Now, back at King and Queen of the Ring, it was revealed that the stipulation of those two tournaments was that the winners would get title shots at SummerSlam. So this is the first of those two. We have Queen of the Ring, Queen Nia, facing Bayley for that Women's Championship. And obviously these two have history. Nia Jax did injure Bayley all those years ago, and they've been bringing that up quite a few times during this whole feud. As short as it's been, it feels like it's been quite short, but they have history. And you know, this feud works with just those two good enough. It works well enough. And then when you add Tiffany Stratton and her Money in the Bank briefcase, along with her alliance with Nia Jax, I think it adds a whole new dynamic to this feud. And I'm a big fan of it, actually. I'm very much enjoying what they're doing. So as far as a cash-in goes, I don't think we'll see it actually happen. Maybe we see one teased, but purely because she's just got a custom briefcase last night. I think WWE, will milk that for as long as possible, because when there's custom briefcases, especially with someone as popular as Tiffany Stratton, there is money to be made in merch. Link in description, by the way, but yeah. So yeah, we'll probably see a teased cash-in, maybe, or at least Tiffany thinking about it. It might lead to a distraction, which could accidentally help Bayley win. Then you have a whole dynamic between Nia and Tiffany, and tension between those two. But yeah, there's a few ways you could take this. But either way, I do think Bayley will retain. And yeah, I think she'll stay women's champion. That's what retain means. So yeah, there's not much to say about this. I am looking forward to it though. Now on the other side of the women's division, we have the Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Now, this match needs no introduction really. It's the culmination of a saga between Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, and the rest of the Judgment Day by proxy. So the way I see it, this match ends one of two ways, and that is Dominic accidentally costs Rhea the match through something, like some form of distraction, or he intentionally costs Rhea the match and betrays the Judgment Day, betrays Rhea, and sides with Liv Morgan. And then maybe the rest of the night follows a theme of the destruction of the Judgment Day, or the crumbling of the Judgment Day. But because Finn and JD are tag team champions, I think maybe you might see just teases of a crumbling of the Judgment Day, an implosion. How many more words can I think of to describe it? Unless Finn betrays Damian later, but we will get to that. So yeah, as regards to my prediction for who will leave with the Women's World Championship, I think I'm fairly confident, even despite that little leak or mistake on the WWE graphics. I do think Liv Morgan will remain Women's World Champion. And this match will be a very, very interesting watch. I don't think it'll be this early in the card as WWE have it listed here. But yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of matches on this card for a Triple H era pay-per-view, or PLE. So yeah, we will see. Liv Morgan retains. Up next, we have a big one. We have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with special guest referee Seth Rollins. Or Seth freaking Rollins. So yeah, this feud once again needs no introduction. These two have been at each other's throats for pretty much the entire time since November when CM Punk returned. And CM Punk obviously got injured at the hands of Drew in the Royal Rumble match. And they've been doing amazingly well to keep this feud going, even with CM Punk injured. Like, I can't think of another time where that's happened off the top of my head, where someone's been injured and they keep showing up on TV and building a feud, like, as well as this has been done. So I'm very, very excited for this match. I don't know if it's the one I'm most excited for, because obviously the main event has its own implications. But yeah, the result is very hard to predict, especially now that Seth Rollins is in the match. I was going to say involved. He's pretty much in the match. It's as close to a triple threat as you can get without it being a triple threat. So yeah, who will win this match? Usually I write down my predictions before doing this, but this one I haven't got anything written down. It's literally who comes to my head. Like, maybe Seth will screw Punk, which will lead them to a sort of one-on-one feud for a bit, because we do have Bash in Berlin, and then after that, I don't know if we have a PLE in September. I think after that is Bad Blood. So people have obviously thrown around the idea of CM Punk vs Drew in a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, but as far as how you get to that with Bash in Berlin in the middle, maybe you have Seth screw Punk in this match. They have a little one-on-one feud, and Drew interferes in that. I don't know. It's very difficult to work your way through. It's become quite the messy feud, but yeah, it's interesting to see. As far as Seth screwing Punk, does that count as a heel turn? I don't know. It's hard with these three, because a lot of this is, it seemingly blurs the line between kayfabe and reality. I'm not really convinced on that. I think these three are like best of friends behind the scenes by now. But yeah, I do think Drew is the more likely winner, just because I feel like Punk can survive a loss, especially if it's not clean. I think Punk's character can survive a loss like that. So yeah, I imagine this is going to build towards a triple threat match. Maybe Punk vs Seth. But I think my official prediction will be Drew McIntyre wins by whatever means. Up next we have, according to this list, the co-main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus the King General, Gunther. I don't know if that name really makes sense, but he's King of the Ring, so there we go. The King of the Ring tournament obviously led to him becoming #1 contender. We had that match with Randy, and the ending that sort of got swept under the rug, kind of. Maybe we revisit that in the future, but I doubt it. But anyway, we have Gunther, a dominant figure even without a championship, facing Damian Priest, someone whose reign has surprised a lot of people, because it's been very, very good. I'd argue that it's like the current best championship reign, I think. I'm trying to think what's better. I've liked Sammy's, but I think Damian's trumps it. Logan Paul's US title is out of the picture. Are any of the women's championships, have any of those reigns been as good? I don't think so. And then we have Cody's, which, this has kind of been a slow point, I guess. I think I'd say Damian's is my favorite reign right now, as far as the whole thing. Match-wise, it's 100% Cody. But yeah, we're not debating that in this video. So with predictions, we have to factor in what pay-per-view, what PLE is next, and that is Bash in Berlin. And for the longest time, pretty much since WrestleMania or Raw after Mania, when Ilya Dragunov started to come up to the main roster, people have been talking about Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which has been the main conversation. But in my eyes, that match doesn't need a title. And whatever happens with Dominic, Rhea and Liv will be key to what happens in this match. And I think if Finn Balor doesn't get involved and have a full-on Judgment Day implosion and betray Damian Priest, I think I will have another bold prediction and say that Damian Priest wins this match. And then Gunther can move on to facing Ilya and having some non-title feuds. which I think a lot of people like or would like to see from him. Because not everything with him has to be about a championship. Like, Kevin Owens was the prize fighter, and then he's done well enough without championships. So, yeah, it's tough to tell when this match heavily depends on another match. So, we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go bold, and I'm going to say Damian Priest wins. And our already confirmed main event is Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the undisputed WWE Championship. And as of last night, it has become a Bloodline Rules match, which throws a big spanner in the works. Or is a positive spanner in the works, if you will. It's quite a interesting way to go about this match, because I didn't see it coming. I know there might have been leaks. I saw murmurs about the SummerSlam card being changed at some point this week, and maybe this is what they were referring to, but I try not to look at that for spoilers' sake. But yeah, Bloodline Rules means interferences. So we have pretty much guaranteed interferences from Tonga Loa and the new tag team champions, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. And I guess they're freebirding the title, so all of them are tag team champions, but yeah, we have those confirmed interruptions pretty much. Now, who interferes on Cody's side? It's not likely to be Randy or Kevin, because they've been injured in the run-up in kayfabe. I hope. But yeah, it's not likely to be those two. And many people were saying Jimmy Uso was going to return last night on SmackDown, and now that didn't happen. So I think we are quite likely to see Jimmy Uso, come into this match and interfere. Now, Roman Reigns is a different conversation. It almost feels too good to be true, but it is SummerSlam, it is a big show. So yeah, I'm trying my best not to get my hopes up, just in case Roman doesn't arrive. And maybe as a substitute for that, we have Jimmy and Jay reuniting to become, to be on Cody's side. But I don't know, I feel maybe Jay and Jimmy aren't like on good terms yet. Maybe Jay's there for Cody, and then Jimmy shows up, and those two still have tension between them, Jimmy and Jay, but that gets resolved at some point down the line. It's very weird not to overbook this match, or this type of match, because we obviously saw what happened at WrestleMania and how overbooked that was. But the fact is, this isn't WrestleMania. But yeah, maybe this is the start of sort of a return to form for SummerSlam to feel like a really big event, especially with it going 2 nights soon enough. I think it's 2026 it's going 2 nights. I think so. But yeah, as far as a prediction for the result, I do think Cody Rhodes will leave with the championship, contrary to what the thumbnail says. So yeah, it's just whether Roman returns, really. That's what this matchup is becoming. And I will be very, very happy if it happens. But I'm going to go in with the mindset that it won't, just to sort of avoid disappointment. But if it doesn't happen, you might want to take shelter on X and whatever social media, because I guarantee you the internet will go into meltdown if that doesn't happen, if Roman doesn't return. People have been talking about The Rock, but I doubt The Rock will come back this early in the calendar. So yeah, maybe Cody will definitely remain world champion in my eyes. And whether that leads to sort of War Games build, or we start pivoting towards a Randy Orton feud eventually, unless that's a WrestleMania level feud. But with Cena coming back towards WrestleMania, with the next WrestleMania being his last one, maybe he's involved with Randy. It's hard to tell that far ahead with how many cogs are working in the machine, and obviously injuries, everything can happen. But yeah, maybe we'll be back to acknowledging the original chief, Roman Reigns, after the end of this match. And yeah, Cody Rhodes will still be undisputed champion. So yeah, those are my predictions for SummerSlam. If you agree with any, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with any, let me know in the comments as well. And if you enjoyed the video, and if you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and if you want to buy any merch on www.shop.com, be sure to use my affiliate link. You can find it in the description. I thank you very much for watching, have a good day, and goodbye.